Namaskar and welcome to Sunset TV's election special show on three assembly elections in the northeastern part, that is Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. Now the results are out and BJP and its allies have comfortably crossed the halfway mark in Tripura and Nagaland assembly election results. In Nagaland, the NDPP and BJP raced into the lead right from the word go and maintained that pole position throughout the counting of votes. BJP also secured majority in Tripura with 32 seats out of 60. Its ally IPFT could manage to win only one seat, while Left plus Congress combined won 14 seats and Tipra Motha bagged 13 in Tripura. In Meghalaya, the ruling NPP with 26 seats missed the majority mark by 4 seats. Both the Congress and TMC won 5 seats, while the BJP finished with 2. Media reports say that CM Conrad Sangma has reached out to the BJP for support in forming government in the state. So we'll take a quick look at all these results and also analyze them as to what does these results mean and what will be the process of government formation from here onwards and challenges for the new government which will be in place based on these election results as well. And for more on this, we're joined by distinguished panel of guests. Let me first introduce them to you, beginning with Mr. Deepak Dewan, senior journalist is with us, keeps a close watch on all the developments in the northeastern region of the country. Sanjay Singh, another senior journalist, is with us as well. Welcome, both of you gentlemen. We're also joined by Mr. Jhunjhunwala. He's executive editor, Eastern Panorama in Meghalaya, and two other guests will also be joining us. We'll introduce them also to you. But let me begin with you, Mr. Dewan, here. These three states going to polls and the kind of results which are coming in, it's almost 3 out of 3 for the BJP, majority in Tripura, with alliance partner, majority in Nagaland as well. And if you look at Meghalaya, the ruling party has already sought support of the BJP. So it looks like it'll be again a coalition government out there.
Yes. If you look at Tripura, they've got the clear-cut majority, though less seats than the last time. But nevertheless, they have an absolute majority to form the government. And I think some seats were taken away by Tipra Motha. Also, the left and the alliance, they also suffered loss of 2 more seats, because last time they had left on its own had got 16 seats in 2018. This time the coalition has got only 14 seats. So when you come to Meghalaya, see, Conrad Sangma had made it very clear sometime 3-4 days back that in case if he has to take support from any other political party, he would choose the party which is for the development of Northeast. Okay. That time he did not name BJP. But today things are very clear. He has tweeted. He has also spoken to the Assam CM, who's the chairman of NEDA, Northeast Development, that forum which is there in the Northeast, where all the non-Congress parties are part of it, So, more or less, I think this is same old coalition government will be formed with the UDP also as partner in it. Okay. So they'll be able to form the government out there. And then Nagaland, they fought as an alliance. Last time they had total 30 seats, BJP and NDPP. Now they have gained 37. It's 25 plus 12. BJP has retained its strength out there. The NDPP has got around 25, so it's around 37 there, comfortably past the majority mark also. Sanjay Singh ji, I'd like to bring you in here, and let's start with Tripura. The significance of Tripura is really important here, because the BJP has managed to retain a power in the state, a state where it won a huge majority in last elections, routing out the left front, which was in power for almost 3 decades.
Vishal, if you look at larger message, that is, which emanates from these election results, since we are talking about Tripura, let us talk about Tripura first. BJP has retained Tripura in a situation where, if you look at last election, BJP hardly had voting percentage varying between 1 to 2%, between 3%, around 3% vote. From there, you cross to a situation, defeat a party which was there for last 3 decades. And the chief minister out there was talked about Mr. Clean and somebody who was completely, he was invincible. and CPM as a party had a model which could not be defeated. Now from there on, BJP convincingly defeated the CPM in last elections. From there on, retaining, coming back to power with absolute majority on its own. And also, if you look at it, the leader of opposition who is going to be, if he does not support BJP, he is giving indications that he might support from outside. Tripura Motha leader, who was earlier with Congress, he was Congress president there. And the things which he said about Congress, I think that is a telling picture about the way Congress functions and the way BJP functions.
Okay.
The other message emanating from there, that once BJP comes to power in a state, they work very hard to retain the power through governance and through social outreach messages, enthusing their cadre, worker, also going to, till such time you don't have delivery in place on the ground, it's not possible to win elections, because people all across the country, their imagination have been fired, their aspiration level have gone up. Until such time you make clean and transparent delivery, you are not going to come back to power.
Okay.
Things which Prime Minister today said, I think if I were to make a dispassionate analysis, and even if Prime Minister has not said it, I would have said same things about the BJP, about the way the BJP has become victorious here. The BJP was given a branding, so to say, ek to Hindi, Hindu, Hindustan. He also talked about, initially they used to call Baniya party, rural area penetration, so on and so forth. Today, here is a situation. Tripura, you have large chunks of Bengali population, you have a tribal population. In Meghalaya and Nagaland, you have Christian population, so was there in Goa. And BJP not only maintaining that for the second time, also reducing its main challenger at national level, the Congress. In Tripura, the Congress and left coming together. In fact, the left's number have gone down after they came joined hands with Congress. The Congress has an alternate pole, which Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi were talking about. The Congress's power to emerge as alternate pole vis-a-vis the BJP,
that also goes down with these results. Indeed, that's a larger national indication as well. But since we're talking about Tripura, let me also bring in Mr. Devashish Bhattacharjee. He's editor of News Vanguard in Tripura. Mr. Bhattacharjee, welcome to Sunset Television. We are talking about the election results in Tripura. Now, if we have to understand from your analysis, not only BJP makes a comeback, but also Tipra Motha, the tribal outfit led by Pududde Burman, former Congress state chief, managing to secure 13 seats. How would you look at that? And the Congress left combined, the two parties which ruled the state all these years, except the last 5 years, not even managing to secure half of what the winning parties got.
Yes. Actually, Tipra Motha, in this election, Tipra Motha is prime factor. Tipra Motha is a prime factor. That's why I'm saying BJP win 32 seats. And if you go through the statistics, then you can find BJP out of that 32, 25 seats. The margin with CPI, if the Motha not collect the vote, maybe BJP can't win in maximum seat. So Motha is one of the prime factor. And another thing, in the year 2018, BJP allies with IPFT. IPFT, their main demand was Tripura land. That means Tripura is a very teeny state, very small state, marginal state, and only 40 lakhs people are here. And Tipra Motha's demand was to separate the Tripura. At that time, BJP managed them and they allies with the IPFT. BJP allies with the IPFT in that time. This time also, Tipra Motha, they raised their demand greater Tripura land, almost the same. Here also, to separate the Tripura. But this time, BJP can't ally. with the Tipra Motha.
Okay.
If they ally, actually, Tipra Motha voters, maximum come from CPIM supporters. CPIM supporters in hilly area in 20 tribal states. The main CPM voters, they rush to Tipra Motha. If Tipra Motha and BJP allies, then those CPM voters, they maybe come back to CPM. That's why Tipra Motha role is very important role and prime role. Tipra Motha, if they not collect such type of votes in 21 seats, 28, 25 seats, BJP can't win, maybe win, but perhaps the safety valve as a Tipra Motha played as a safety valve in the BJP's win factor.
Okay. So that explains, the politics in Tripura out there, based on which we've seen these election results. Let's now shift focus to Meghalaya, another important state where the ruling party has not managed to, cross the majority mark. That is 30 there. Mr. Harsh Jhunjhunwala is joining us, Executive Editor, Eastern Panorama in Meghalaya. Mr. Jhunjhunwala, we were earlier in the day talking about the kind of trends which are coming in from the state of Meghalaya. And when we look at the results, it's a hung assembly out there. So how do you see the prospects? The Chief Minister has already reached out to the BJP for an alliance. They already have one alliance partner. Looks like with BJP on their side, they will be able to cross that majority mark.
Yes, you are right. Meghalaya has always had a hung assembly and never has any single party able to cross the 30+ mark. Conrad Sangma, we must congratulate him. He has already got a quite good number of seats, 25 if I'm not mistaken. And if you see, now he has already reached out to the BJP, which has 2 seats. So that makes it 27. Now he can, how the dynamics will play, whether he'll go with his former coalition partner UDP, which has secured 10 seats this time, is something to watch. They may repeat the same coalition that existed last time, and all other parties may have to wait. Even if they come on board, they cannot dictate or want the ministerial cabinet berth like how it was earlier. The 3 factors which decided the Meghalaya Assembly was the percentage of voting, rural and urban. Urban areas had lower voting ratio, and then the first-time voters. We had around 80,000 plus, 85,000 I think. So first-time voters in our state, which is a very good percentage to swing the seats. And the votes for VPP. The loss of Congress was actually the gain of NPP, UDP, and VPP. And practically, Congress is reduced to 5 seats now. And if you see, they had 17 sitting MLAs who left, and they have now 5. They had won last time 21 seats. So if in the Lok Sabha they do not perform well, we might not actually have a Congress party in Meghalaya in the coming election.
That's
the dynamics are very.
Indeed. That's a very interesting dynamic out there, as Harsh is pointing out. I'd like to bring you in quickly, both of you, on Meghalaya. Sanjay ji, I'll start with you. It looks like this state has not bucked the trend. Once again, hung assembly. But if you look at the performance of national parties, BJP securing 2, Congress reduced to 5. Now, that's significant because in previous elections, the Congress was the single largest party.
See, 2 other national parties you are forgetting. NPP is also a national party, and so is TMC.
Yes. TMC has also got 5.
Yes. Fact remains that Congress was single largest party, I think, in last
21 seats.
21 seats. And NPP, 20 seats. From there on, Congress sliding to 5. And TMC making some inroads out there. Fact remains that NPP has gone up. BJP is where it was. And therefore other allies would come in. The important part is how Conrad Sangma plays his cards. I don't know whether there was a tacit understanding between the BJP and NPP and they fought separately. Now they again are coming together. The silver lining is the developmental aspect which Northeast has seen in last 8-9 years is going to be there in times to come. If you contrast the situation with Manmohan Singh being Prime Minister from Northeast, he was MP from Assam, and contrast this with Modi being a Prime Minister who went there for about 50 times to the entire Northeast region, that shows the picture. Northeast, mainstreaming of Northeast. In last assembly elections, I talked about the way the national media is talking about Northeast elections. The people are talking, people all across the country are talking about Northeast elections. Conrad Sangma, of course, has held his ground. The other big picture emerging from there, if you're talking about Tripura also, just a quick point. Pradeep Dev Burman was Congress's president, then Congress secured 0. Now he is disappointed, disgruntled from there. He floated his own outfit. He secures substantive numbers. People who shifted may have shifted to some from CPM voter supporter. If CPM voter supporter had not shifted to BJP in last 2018, the BJP would not have won that kind of majority. Again, in these elections also, if CPM voters had not supported the BJP wouldn't have got a clear majority. So therefore, to say that if this party would not have been there, the BJP would have lost. Every single party has a right to contest.
Indeed.
Mr. Pradeep Dev Burman has stood to his ground, has shown that he is a leader who can deliver goods. It was Congress party. Unfortunately, it was unfortunate for the Congress party and tells whole lot of other things about the Congress's leadership.
Okay.
Nagaland again is a shining example of the way.
We'll come to Nagaland as well, Sanjay ji, but let's sticking to Meghalaya first. Let's hear Mr. Dewan there as well. Mr. Dewan, this becomes very interesting, as Mrs. Singh was also pointing out, and Mr. Jhunjhunwala was also referring to the fact that it now remains to be seen how Conrad Sangma plays the cards. But both Conrad Sangma's party and BJP being in alliance, then fighting elections separately, and then again coming together to form alliance. Is this a form of tactic which is often seen in Meghalaya?
Well, see, from 1972, that was the only time we had a full-term government ruled by one party. After that, Meghalaya has always had hung assemblies. So the politicians there, they are quite used to it. That's why you see the small regional parties, they fight election and they get their share of power when it comes to form the government. The same thing is going to happen now. So it is nothing new for the people there, that hung assembly. So I think it is, in fact, Meghalaya has taught coalition governments in the rest of other parts of the country also. So I don't see, is there any harm also in doing this, because you have no other choice. Okay. You have to have a coalition government.
And that's the decision, that's a political strategy of all parties, electoral strategy rather of political parties as to how do they want to fight the elections, whether with their alliance partners or without their alliance partners. You're referring to, Nagaland, Sanjay ji, and when we look at Nagaland, from the moment the counting began, it looked like the ruling combine is all set to win it.
Nagaland, Vishal, look, Nagaland results in wider perspective. What the Western media, sections of Western media and critiques here were saying, whole lot of their institutions, we said there is no democracy in India. There is autocratic democracy out in India, and there are a lot of questions in Modi government, persecutive minorities and so on and so forth. And Nagaland election punctured all those theories which were floated within and outside, from outside. Vested interest, all kinds of support groups and funding and financing from various other groups. Nagaland, therefore, I consider Nagaland's result is very, very important in the sense that BJP, in alliance with other parties, has not only come back, but come back with thumping majority. Again, if you look at Nagaland, the Congress is there at 0, the party which all these critics have been supporting. Therefore, the people of Nagaland, you had Christian story, you had beef story, you had a whole lot of stories about Nagaland. People actually questioning. It was people's faith and belief in terms of delivery. Therefore, I say that if you deliver in transparent, fair and transparent manner, people are actually going to believe you.
Okay. And apart from this, this indeed is a significant analysis of the Nagaland election results. But apart from that, Mr. Dewan, There's one more point when we look at the Nagaland election results, and that's the fact that for the first time in the state's history, 2 women candidates have won the elections. There are 2 women MLAs, 13 assemblies, not even a single women MLA so far, and now the state has 2 women MLAs.
Yes, this is it's like creating a history. See, prior to this, only last year we had Rajya Sabha BJP MP coming from Nagaland, and before that it was way back in 1977 when Rano Shahida had won the Lok Sabha MP. But this time we have 2, I think, women, those who have won in the assembly, and it's the first time.
Yeah, both of them NDPP candidates.
Pardon me?
Both of them NDPP candidates.
Both are NDPP, ruling alliance party. If you recall, I think 5-6 years ago, the Nagaland Assembly had passed order, or they had decided to adopt the 33% reservation for women in the civic elections, and they were state-wise protests by men. They say, in our society, women should not be given reservation. We don't want them to come into politics. See how the time has changed. So the result today is in front of you. We have 2 MLAs, women MLAs now in the assembly.
Okay, Mr. Singh, again, the sign of changing times, this becomes really important because there's been a lot of talk about, reservation for women in parliament, in assemblies as well. And Nagaland is a very interesting case here.
That shows the women empowerment in these times, how far it has traveled to Northeast. The Prime Minister mentioned that particular part in his speech at BJP headquarters, and people gathered out there. They loudly cheered this aspect in particular.
Okay.
One more thing I would like to add about Nagaland is, do not forget, there's a peace process, peace talks going on with the center. And the people in Nagaland, they are really looking forward to have a final settlement with the undergrounds. So the BJP government at center is handling these talks, and I tell you, these talks may end very soon because it's a really advanced stage. Even the Prime Minister, when he went to Nagaland, he said Nagaland needs peace and prosperity. So people want is to be settled as early as possible. And that is the reason the outgoing assembly had no opposition. Because of the public pressure, they became one, and they formed a core committee to pave the way for the
peace talks.
And same civil society pressurized the 2 outfits, NNPGs and NSG and IM, to sign a document on January 14 that now onwards they would come to negotiation table together. So that is a sign of positive sign of the forthcoming solution.
And indeed, the same ruling combined, winning the elections again, coming back to power, will have a sense of a continuity, when we're talking about the peace talks out there. Thank you so much, Mr. Deepak Dewan, Mr. Sanjay Singh there as well, Mr. Harsh Jhunjhunwala and Debashish Bhattacharya also. We would like to thank them for their valuable inputs and views on analyzing the election results in these 3 states. That's Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland, where BJP and its allies have made a comeback in these elections. We'll keep a close watch on the developments vis-a-vis the government formation in these 3 states and keep you updated on all those aspects as well. Till then, keep watching Sunset Television. Thank you.